Hello, true duelists. My name is Craig Fee, and as always, welcome to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Update. It's a new year, and I'm proud to say it's a new me, in the metaphysical sense that nothing at all has changed, and it's still the same good old update. So, I lied. I started the new year by lying to you. Welcome to a Yu-Gi-Oh! News channel. There have been no particularly big events on account of the holidays, but in terms of competitive news, online registration for the 250th YCS in Los Angeles is open for anyone looking to attend, which is some exciting stuff. Can you tell that there's no real news here, other than the fact that YCS Sydney in Australia takes place this coming weekend? Are we still in a definitively Tier 0 format? Or just a very strong Tiered 1 format as has been hinted at by prior events? I think we all know the answer to that based on how not hit Tier Limit was as a deck, but we'll find out the results for sure after this weekend when Australia sets the tone for the start of our new year. And I'll be here to report on it in next week's update. Here's some news I'm sure plenty of people will be ecstatic to hear, though, in regards to competitive Yu-Gi-Oh!, or at least in the OCG, because according to results from this post here, gathering data from a few events run in the OCG, there is a new strategy in Tier Limit to keep them not just relevant, but they have a quarter of all tops. They're still like the best deck according to this chart specifically. That is so cool. That's awesome. I'm so happy. I can't wait to hear the internet's opinion on this if it comes true in the TCG. That's going to be so cool. Apparently, they're turboing out Mecha Phantom Beast Draco Sack and using its ability to summon 2 level 3 tokens to then turn those tokens into Burning Abyss's Cherubini. And then with Cherubini, you send King of the Swamp King to the graveyard, and now you have the means to make Rukalos. The OCG just refuses to play other decks, I guess. That's cool. That's sick. I like that a lot. They might be the next Dragon Rulers, they being Tier Limits, of course, and that they just stay relevant until they're finally taken out back properly and just all banned. Or maybe limited in this case, who knows? It's insane that an archetype that fuses when sent to the graveyard, but also sends itself to the graveyard for just free borderline infinite fusion summons. Insane that that has remained a good deck after hits in the OCG. It's impossible to know if this is relevant to us here in the TCG. As is always the case, we aren't going to have the same ban list, or almost certainly not just getting the same cards banned, so we won't know for sure that this will be replicated here in TCG land. It's somewhere in the between of certainty and uncertainty, and I'm looking forward to see what happens. This is an interesting time in Yu-Gi-Oh! In regards to the top deck. We can't know for sure if this is just early format lingering in the OCG of I still have my tier cards, I'm gonna try with them anyways, or if it's truly currently still a very good deck in their meta. One thing is for certain though, it seems to be sticking around in some capacity. So, hope you like the Space Mermaids. Also this past week, in a move so unprecedented, I literally would never have guessed it would happen. And that is a genuine, proper use of the term literally. I genuinely am actually shocked by this news. It shook me to my core. Because the 3 new archetypes in the next deck build pack have been revealed in the OCG, and there are no generic anime girls. At least not thus far. Now that might make this deck pack building adventure collection of cards time. Wow, I butchered that. This might make that deck building pack fully uninteresting to some of you, but it blows my fucking mind. Because yes, deck build pack Wild Survivors has been confirmed, and we know 3 new archetypes coming from it. Transcendrake, large-scale dinosaurs that appear on the field using different kinds of summoning methods. Yes, dinosaurs that are actually dinosaurs. These ones do have trans in the name, so that's probably going to be the low-hanging fruit joke, the same way race is for the race cards. I don't remember their archetype name at all. But regardless, these seem to actually be dinosaurs and not just anime characters with dinosaur typing. Sorry, Dinomorphia players, I prefer dinosaurs. There's like one cool card in that archetype that I like, and the rest are just dudes and chicks. You do you, but that ain't it for me. That's all I gotta say about that. VS, or Vanquished Soul, is the next archetype, and they're touted as fighters that release their special attacks using the power of attributes. And holy fuck, does that thing look cool! That is my favorite of this new set so far visually, and this is saying something because this set has dinosaurs, and I'm like 10 years old mentally in more ways than one, but mostly because I just love dragons and dinosaurs, hence why I play this fucking card game. So I'm pretty stoked on this. It looks dope as shit, and if it turns out that this is super secret actually the anime girl deck, and that I've just been rused and there's one cool looking card in it for me, and then the rest is just the generic anime girl number 6,000,000,4012 that this game is printed, I'm deleting my channel. I'm deleting my channel, I'm burning my cards, I'm doing it all. I'm not scared. And you can hold me to this, and just remember I did start this video by lying to you. So do what you will. And the last archetype is Nouvelle. Nouvelle? Fucking French every time. This is a ritual summoning theme, more rituals, that's cool, that treats the opponent to different cuisines. Yeah, the description for this deck is the only one that doesn't have any sort of hint. It's just cuisines, which means it's food. Now, the masses have seen this new ritual archetype that references cuisines, and we've immediately jumped to hopium huffing declarations that this could be Hungry Burger support. And I must be about to overdose on hopium because please, God, let it be Hungry Burger support. That would be dope as fuck. That would usurp VS for my favorite archetype in this entire set, which is, again, saying a lot, but my God. Beyond these few sentences I've read here, the only thing we know is the art of these three cards. I assume they're monsters, but we don't even know that for sure. As is tradition, one of them will be shit. I think that's like every deck pack has at least one archetype. I think there's one that doesn't. Was it the Grand Creators? Was it the Adventurer pack? I don't know. Who cares? Point is, we could be looking at the next set of Eldritch and Adamancipator, or we could be looking at the next Ogdoadic and Ursa Arctic. Deck build packs are kind of wild like that. We'll find out next week on Dragon Ball Z. That's another lie. We'll find out when they reveal more, and I'll cover it in the update. This is, of course, the next deck build pack in the OCG, mind you. We here in the TCG won't get them until sometime later in 2023. Instead, we can look forward to Amazing Defenders, which is set to drop this month, just 2 weeks away on January 19th in the EU and on the 20th for North America. In merch news, there's another Duel disc. Whoa, that's right, you can ruin your cards for the low cost of $80. What a deal. As of now, from what I can gather, this has been revealed from a distributor in the UK and not from an actual seller. So I can't tell you exactly where this is from or where you can get your hands on one when it becomes available as of yet, but I can tell you to get ready to consume. Yeah, that's right, go out and purchase and buy product and don't worry about the fact that inflation is going to ruin everything for Everreal, apparently. Still, not much else to say here. Let's just steal a joke. Credit to YugiTubing's own House of Champs, because he pointed out that this bad boy is marked as ages 14+, meaning that Yu-Gi-Oh! Isn't a kid's game anymore. Take that, high school bullies from my past. I was actually cool the whole time. Copium. In community news, there was some exciting news and an exciting development for some of the bad decks this past week, because YCS champion, multiple times, Jesse Kotton, has announced a plan to overtake me and subscribers on YouTube by making his own channel, as well as actually being good at the game. That Canadian fuck strikes again. In all honesty, this is dope, and I'm pretty damn interested in seeing pro players' takes on anything in regards to the game. We've already got Pack and Joshua Schmidt as two examples that I personally enjoy content from, so I'm sure Jesse will be a very welcome and enjoyable third. Also, to help garner interest, he announced that he would be making a series wherein he tinkers with one of 4 decks he had posted, perfecting it as best he can at locals, and then ending the series by taking the deck to a regionals and seeing how well he can do with it. A very solid idea for a series, and a chance for a pro player to take a crack at a lower tier deck that would otherwise be ignored. The 4 archetypes he put a poll for, to be the one that he played, were Mutant, Unchained, Earth Machine, and Infernity. Ah, fuck. Infernity. In a community poll on Twitter. That probably means that Farfa sent his drones to vote for that, and then it won. I'm kidding, of course, because it was actually Distant Coder who sent his drones to spam for Unchained, which is why it's no surprise that the winner of this poll was Earth Machine? What the fuck? How did... Oh, okay. So Earth Machine won because MBT sent his drones to vote for Earth Machine. It was rigged from the start. Fucking streamers ruining my online polls. I don't actually give a shit. I voted for Mutant personally, if you can tell by the check mark on that little picture there, because I was like, as far as I know, that archetype just goes neg a lot and then hopes to break even from going neg over the course of the turn. And I think it'd be really funny to see a pro player try and spin that into something better than what it currently is. But I don't really give a shit which archetype he focuses on. I just want to see his take on a deck. For fans of the Earth Machine deck, congratulations. Kotton's taking a crack at it. That's got to be pretty cool. So far as I know about Earth Machine right now, it spends about 15 minutes of your life to end on a combo that has drawn 2 cards. But with Jesse Kotton's help, shit, this deck might be about to draw 3 cards over the course of its combo. That's a good shit. Also this week, I'm going to be talking about something here that is pretty serious, and so I plan to take it as seriously as it deserves to be taken. This past week, I did put up a poll covering whether or not I wanted to cover a certain topic or whether you would like to see it covered in this week's update. What I'm talking about now has nothing to do with that poll whatsoever. I am talking instead about this tweet from YugiTuber himself, House of Champs, taking a 2-time appearance on this episode today, because what the fuck is that? Now, look, I was just going to comment on this on my own Twitter account underneath his post, but when all your jokes are about being sarcastic and or an asshole, it's a little hard to convey tone in a joking manner when saying that there's still time to delete this. And I'm not being sarcastic. Maybe I am being the Champs, House of, whatever you prefer to go by. You can delete this. you can get rid of it. You can spare the world from having to continue to see this tweet. And again, you can. I'm so serious. I promise you, I'm being very genuine. You can spare the people from having to see this tweet, and I can spare the people from having to pay full price for an LIFD magnetic display. That's right, folks. It's a segue to a sponsor. Thank you again to LIFD for sponsoring today's episode of The Update, a fantastic means to display whatever card of choice you'd like to throw up there. Maybe one of each of the tier limit cards, because they just are the meta for the next year or so. If the OCG is anything to go by, I don't know. You tell me. Any card of your choice, doesn't even have to be Yu-Gi-Oh! Maybe you've also bought a Digimon card because you were like, Mashidron does look sick as shit. I want that framed. You can go ahead and throw that in a LIFD magnetic display. You can use promo code YGOSTRATS15 for 15% off, or click the link in the description. And thank you once again to LIFD for sponsoring today's video. And so that'll wrap it up for this week's update. As always, I've been your host, Craig Fee. Welcome to another fun-filled year of updates. This is what we're looking forward to, folks. It's Bestials, it's Bestials, it's Tearlaments, it's Yu-Gi-Oh!, and I'm loving it. Don't sue me, McDonald's. Make sure you subscribe to YGO Strats for next week's update so that you can impress your smoking Italian wife and so that you too can be a true duelist.